So this is it. This is my Mac and PC setup. I've always wanted to do this, but there hasn't been a Mac that I felt like I needed to use over my previous PCs because the performance and the things that I was doing was always better on the PC. But ever since this MacBook Pro 16 came out, that's kind of changed everything. Like these MacBook Pro 16s, if you're a video editor, specifically a video editor, they're absolutely amazing. The media engine on there just crushes through my video, but the best part is it does it quietly. And once you live in a quiet experience, it's really hard to go back to a PC that has to kick on the fans very loudly every time it has to render a file. Now, I have this on a laptop stand right now. And for those of you that watch my laptop setups know that I don't like using laptop stands. But there's a reason why I did it this time. It's because the Mac is not only a second screen, but it's also my 1080p webcam, which is awesome on this thing. It becomes my speaker, like the speakers inside of there are amazing. It also acts as Touch ID so I can quickly log in. Plus, the only way to use the microphone on the MacBook Pro 16 is if the laptop is open. Now on the right-hand side, I have the PC. And I know technically it would be cheaper to build my own mini ITX PC, but the problem is it would still be bigger, and this Intel Beast Canyon NUC is literally the perfect size for this desk setup. It's even powerful enough for what I do with it. I use it for some stuff, but I also like to game on it. It's using an i9-11900KB processor paired with an RTX 3060, which is fine for gaming, but I'm gonna swap out the RTX 3060 for an RTX 3080. On top of that, this Gigabyte monitor I chose is awesome. Like, it's very affordable, it's priced well, it's 4K, it's 32 inches, it's 144 hertz, but most importantly, it has good color accuracy that I feel confident doing design work on this. But the main reason I bought this was because of the KMV switch. It has a KMV switch built inside of it, allowing me to transition from my Mac and PC seamlessly. But the problem is, it doesn't work that well in a Mac and PC environment. Every once in a while, it just wouldn't make the switch when I'd press the button, and it would just default going back to my PC. So I had to go out and buy a Ugreen switcher, or USB switcher to be precise, to make this setup work, and it works perfectly now. The switcher doesn't have much lag. I don't feel like there's lag. I don't feel like I'm taking a hit while I'm gaming, and it's working perfectly. The headphones were really important too, and it happens to be the sponsor of this video. These headphones from Master and Dynamic, the MG20s, are superb. They're expensive, but they're great. Like, these high-end gaming headphones I've never seen before, and they're just built well. They have these lambskin ear pads, which feel super comfortable on my head. I don't get fatigue when I'm using them. The headband on top is coated canvas and Alcantara. The frame is made out of metal. They just feel super premium. But most importantly, they sound fantastic. There's these 50mm drivers being used, and then you pair that with 7.1 surround. They're versatile, which means you can use them with pretty much anything because there's Bluetooth, like I can connect it to my phone, and there's an app that allows you to adjust the equalization settings. Plus, it comes with a low latency adapter, which I have plugged in to my switchers. Now, as for the mouse and keyboard, it had to be wireless. They had to be gaming peripherals since I like to game, and I just like the feel of a gaming keyboard. But you have to be very specific. I wanted to use the Razer Viper Ultimate. It works with the Mac, but it doesn't have the drivers and the software that these Logitech products do. The Logitech G Hub works on Mac and PC, which means the mouse and keyboard works flawlessly between both of these devices. The mouse is the Logitech Pro Superlight X. It's really light to use, as the name implies, but it's also perfect for gaming. And every time I switch back and forth between PC and Mac, there's no lag and there's zero issues at all. Same with the keyboard. This is the G915, it's the TKL, and it's technically a mechanical gaming keyboard, but out of all the mechanical gaming keyboards I've used, I find the keys to be very mushy. I feel like for this setup it works well, but I probably wouldn't use it for my personal gaming setup at home. Now, the PC doesn't need a dock since there's tons of ports on the back, but for the MacBook, I wanted to keep a one cable setup, so I have a Thunderbolt 4 dock connected to it. This is the CalDigit TS3 Plus. I've been using it for years, and there are so many ports on this thing. You have like tons of USB ports, 5 of them. You have 4 USB Type-C ports, with 2 of them being Thunderbolt, RJ45, SD card, DisplayPort, optical. The list goes on. As for my external SSD, since this MacBook Pro only has 1 terabyte, I have a Envoy Pro SX from OWC. This drive is insanely fast. It gets almost 3,000 megabytes per second of read speed, which is amazing for an external drive. So moving through footage, cutting is super quick with this. And because it's waterproof, dustproof, it's rugged, I have no issues traveling with this because I feel like most of the times that I personally have accidents is when I'm on the road, like I might accidentally spill water on it. And this thing is just gonna live through all of that. Now, since I'm talking about the desk so much, it's probably one of the nicest looking desks I've ever used for a setup. This is by a company called Vori. It's called the Element Desk Super version 3.0, and the tabletop on top of it is the Walnut Live Edge. I mean, come on, look at this. This is absolutely gorgeous. Just the front of it alone with the unique curves and the different colors make this such a unique piece, and it brings a sense of class and character to the entire setup. It's a standing desk, so it has the customizable programmable buttons on the right-hand side that I can use for different levels. And because it's using 4 motors, this thing can literally support up to 600 pounds. That's half my weight. As for the other knickknacks, we have a black mouse pad. It's a leather mouse pad by a company called Uncrowned. I think I paid like 25 Canadian dollars for it, but I think it looks very classy. You have a white Xbox controller to match the white mouse and keyboard. And then the laptop arm and monitor arm are by a company called Vivo. That wraps up my desk setup for 2021. I think I'm gonna stick with this for a while. Links to everything will be in the description down below. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already. Happy holidays, and I'll see you guys in the next one.